video is not about this mower. It's about my new leaf blower, my PB-580T, life changer. That's the whole point of this video. I'm going to bring out my big leaf blower, my backpack leaf blower, brand new. I used it like twice. It's a game changer. You've seen, if you watch my channel, my handheld, and I'll bring them both out, my handheld unit that I've used for 10 or 11 years. And I've got to say, putting on the backpack leaf blower is, for me, a game changer, life changer. It's so much fun blowing stuff anyways, but that one is, I would say, is double, if not triple the power. And it just makes it so much easier to blow stuff, and you don't have to spend as much time leaf blowing a small area or a big area. So we're gonna pull that out now. I've mowed, and we got a little bit of grass around, and I'm going to show you how well it works. I cannot recommend this. $3.99 is what I bought it for. They used to be like $3.50. Of course, with everything's gone up in price in the last 3 or 4 years, but you could get it for like $3.25, $3.50, and now it's $3.99. So I bought it at $3.99, but still a huge value versus one of the handhelds. That's, I think I paid $2.20 for mine, or $2.10, $2.20, but that was like 6 years ago, and then the one before that was like 11 years ago, so I can't remember exactly how much it cost, so don't. All right, so here's the PB/580H/T. I think the difference between those two is they have an electrical wire, ground out wire that goes into the tube on this one, because previous models, they were, when people would go to grab in dry conditions, dry, hot conditions, to grab the throttle or the handle, and they would get shocked from static electricity, not from any batteries or anything, but that's, I guess they've updated that. So there's the H/T model. I think that's the difference between the two, the H and the T. But that is an amazing blower. I've always been taught growing up, well, more as a young man, to buy more. When you're going to buy something, buy a little bit more. It always gives you the room to grow into instead of buying less and then not having the room to grow into it. Then you're unhappy with what you have maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. Always buy more. Mountain bikes, motorcycle, instead of a 600cc cruiser bike, buy the 1100cc cruiser bike. That was always, when I sold motorcycles, that was always what I told people. They get on the highway at 60 on a 600cc Harley-ish type cruiser motorcycle, and all their friends have an 1100, 1200, 1300. They get left because they're sitting at like 70 and their friends are like cruising at like 85, and they just don't have the power. So it's always better to go bigger, a little bit bigger. You don't have to spend this $599 or the $699 for the bigger ones. This one works awesome. Thing is, you got to start it before you put it on your back, because you can't start it while it's on your back. Just push the little bulb in, the little fuel bulb. It's got a big tank, much bigger than my handheld unit. And choke on if it's needing choke. I always let it start. I'll let it idle for a couple of minutes. All right, to talk to you just a little bit, I've had 2 of these over about 11 years. And I'm just going to tell you the short and dirty, the quick about it. They're pretty good. I've used it for the same yard that I'm going to use, the front yard, backyard side, that I'm going to use the bigger 580 unit on. This is, again, the PB-250LN. I think it's been replaced with a newer model, but almost identical. I don't know how much more the newer one, how much a little bit more power it has, but it's probably not much. I mean, it could be, but not like, wow. So with this one, I just get tired, man, walking around and aiming this one. You're blowing full air out, so it's wanting to push it back, and so you're having to kind of push forward and just moving it all around. It gets heavy on your arm, and it just doesn't have nearly, like, minimal half the power, and it's just phenomenal to have a lot of blowing power. It's been very reliable and very easy to use. So I mean, bigger yards, you're definitely going to need to go gas, in my opinion. But when I start it up again, put it in the run position. thing is powerhouse. $3.99 versus, you know, about half price, probably a little more than half price. But man, works amazing. I'm getting hot, getting out of breath. I need to get back inside and wash up. I think I'm allergic to more of the grass plus the insects. So the little grass clippings, the whole combination of everything just aggravates my skin on my scalp, my arms, my shins, my legs. I wear long pants, but it's going to be so hot, it's probably still going to itch me. So I just got to go in and use some Safeguard soap, some antibacterial soap, some strong soap, lather up. My brother-in-law taught me that like 25 years ago to avoid chigger bites and stuff when we were out in the chiggers, you know, when he was hunting and things. He just said lather up, sit in the shower for about 4 or 5 minutes, lather it up, don't wash it off right away. It works beautifully, and maybe I'll pass that on to someone. If you get a bunch of bug bites and a bunch of rashes and different things, just agitate you for about 4 or 5 days. This blower is very powerful. As you see, I went and cleaned up some extra areas just because it blows so far away and it blows so well. It's not such a hassle as this one to do that. You exert a lot more energy. Again, for me, mowing, it's not about how pretty I can make my half-ass, non-grass, more vegetation lawn look. I just want to trim it and make it look good and meet code. I don't care about anything else. I want to do it quickly, and I want to expend as little energy as possible. If you are the opposite, then it's probably this video, and I am probably not for you. And you probably, but if you are like me and you struggle paying bills and you don't live in a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $800,000 house and have a super nice lawn, which a lot of people in America are struggling still, and we just got to make ends meet. Buying all this lawn equipment I do on my own. Nothing is sent to me. I buy everything that you see on my video myself. My opinion is unbiased. That is what I would go for, unless you just have a 7-foot by 7-foot yard, or something around that size, like my parents had when we lived in $1 million house or an $800,000 house 20 years ago. They didn't have. They had an electric little lawnmower and a little cheap weed eater and a little cheap leaf blower. They didn't need any more. So there you go. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you found this enjoyable, and if you did, leave a like and watch future videos to help me out, okay? That's what helps me out. Thank you. A little bit more. For those that follow along, I did change the plug. I bought the little kit because you can't buy the individual parts. Otherwise, you have to buy the kit. So Echo did that intentionally to get you to spend a little bit more. You can't buy an individual filter, but you might be able to go on eBay or something. I don't do eBay, and you might be able to go other places and source this stuff singly, but I just want to get the genuine brand. I don't want to hassle with it, so I paid a little bit more. You get the spark plug, new filter, and the new filter for the gas tank, and so that was like $23, $24. But I installed all those in the last video, and I still wasn't super happy with it reaching its peak performance with changing all that. So I had a subscriber or a viewer, I don't really check, to recommend that you come in and I'm not going to be able to show you because my camera doesn't focus, but you can look it up on videos. If you have a weed eater or a leaf blower, anything of this type of engine, probably even on that the 580 PB-580 backpack blower, there's a little place you have to drill out or tap out or push out under there. There's a little cap. It's brass, and this is nothing new. I mean, I had a 2009 Ninja 300, and I hopped it up and got a new high performance exhaust, and then I had to rejet the carburetors and from K&N, and I got new filters for that too, high performance flow filters. And so I had to go in and drill out those carburetors so that I could get to the either low speed or high speed idle screw. So you have to do that on that. So I got it out. It took about 2 hours to do. It was not easy, but I got that out and adjusted that. It's running a little bit better than it was last time. I don't think, it may just be my memory's bad. That's always the case. I'm not going to tell you my memory's the greatest, but it runs better. This one needs the choke always. And and then I'd let it idle for a couple of minutes. It is quieter. That's not terribly loud, but this is quieter, so people can put on headphones or earmuffs or sound earplugs. You can do that. My ears are already kind of from years and years and years of shooting guns and riding motorcycles and loud noises. I'm at where I'm at anyways, but I'm going to clean my porch. This would be a good use for this if you have a back porch or something of that, and you just have a small area and you don't want to pull out a big backpack blower and put it on. This is still a good option.